Are you trying to bait a live reaction? So it's hitting hard, it's fast, and it's getting phased out with the Dragon Tail. Well done, Jorge. Now, if I'm Tylord, I'm shaking in my boots. I'm scared of this. It's a very well done match, and I'm proud of you, son. We have Rain versus whatever the fuck you call this kind of team.
Whoa! Hey! I didn't see you there. Are you sure you're in the right place? Well, if not, sit down, grab a bucket of popcorn, because we're about to watch some Pokemon clips. You want to watch my clips? You want to watch my clips? Why don't you watch my clips, huh? You want to come over to my channel, watch some Pokemon clips? Why don't you watch my...
We got a replay from Cerulean. Cerulean is another one of my rivals, I'd say. So that means he goes in the bad guy's position. It's also a very interesting player. They like to come in with a lot of creative sets. So let's see what has Cerulean served up for us today. Both players opt for a quick start as the Terra Ice Jolteon hits the field. This is a very scary Terra Pokemon. Bolt Beam combo of Ice and Electric is extremely hard to resist. As then Naganadel hits the field, safely put in via a Volt Switch, and gets a KO on the Tapu Fini. 2 quick KOs, 5-5. Naganadel is beast boosted with the balloon up as Jolteon hits the field, potentially revealing a Choice Scarf. Potentially winning with the Choice Scarf. Why is that thing named Sean? Are you trying to bait a live reaction? Oh, that's funny. Wicked Blow doing 50% to Alamola is... I don't know if I'm shocked by it or not, but goddamn, Urshifu Single is just such a scary Pokemon, as it just takes Goldengo's life away from it. It's very interesting. Sean has got hands, as Cerulean says. See, it's even like a Garchomp. Now, I don't know if this is a tanky Garchomp or not, but it's still doing most of its life. Now, with this substitute down, I'm going to Naganadel here and trying to pick up my free KO. As he ends up just sucker punching. I don't know what the balloon was for, trying to negate the ground type weakness, but I just feel like there's better moves here. For example, a Choice Scarf would have been great. Because you mostly click the same moves over and over again with Naganadel once you start boosting the damage. Hold up. Was that thing named Tylord? The Mega Scizor was named Tylord. That's too funny. If you don't know, Tylord has Scizor like every single season. That is very funny. And the Mew is named Basic. Mew is like the basic Draft League Pokemon. It's so good in Draft because it can do whatever you want. If you're going to sweat and like rebuild your team from the ground up every week for your opponent, which you should be doing if you want to win, then Mew is your Pokemon and you need to take it. So we end up getting a Wish passed off to the Rotom, who takes a big Psychic Terrain boost. Damage. Where did that Psychic Terrain come from? Oh shit, he used the Munium Z to use the Genesis Supernova boosted Psychic, which actually gets up terrain. Mew is one of the only Pokemon who can get up terrain. I guess, is the only Pokemon who can get up terrain without using like a move or using Psychic Surge. Although I guess the Genesis Supernova is a move. I don't know. It's a unique Psychic Terrain boosting move. Get off my back, for the love of God. All right. So, Alamola doing its job, being kind of fat and in the way. The Liquidation getting the defense drop is interesting. This Liquidation might actually hurt a little more now, but Alamola is just boosting. See, if I was him, I wouldn't be worried about wishing because of that regenerator, and I would be trying to take advantage of these defense drops. And now, Alamola has actually managed to get a kill. I don't know if I'm Liam, I'm surprised Alamola has gotten a kill at all. I mean, that thing, all it does is pass wishes, place toxics, and die. Alamola, being a steel type, is actually really good, allowing it to have resistances versus the electric and ice. I think is pure steel resist both? I think it does. But unluckily, the Jolteon has Shadow Ball, but it gets a Death Drop. This match is just moving so fast. I'm going to start slowing it down for these final turns. This is a really bad position. These Calm Mind boosts can just shred through this team. but it is toxic. It's on a timer, but it's still getting the KOs. The Rotom falls, and now we've proven that the Jolteon is not Choice Scarf at this point. So the Naganadel needs to hit the field and try and get that Beast Boost KO while it can. But instead, we see the Naganadel come out. And we're facing the, the Energy Booster being used properly. I believe it was 2 weeks ago I told Cerulean on stream to stop using Energy Booster unless you're using it for speed. And look, there it is. He's actually using it properly. Love to see it. The Earthquake comes out, gets the KO. Now, people of the chat, I want you to question this yourself. Just look up, if you're watching the YouTube video, go ahead and go to Smogon right now and look up Naganadel special attack stat versus, what is this thing called? Iron Tread's HP and Spadef. It's at 100%, and this is a probably max, it's probably a max special attacking Naganadel. Although, I did just find out that Naganadel is slower than Jolteon. So look at those and tell me, do you think this Flamethrower is enough to KO the Iron Treads? Holy shit, I forgot it's speed boosted. We're never gonna know. Sorry, guys. It's speed boosted, so it just KO'd. That was really good. A 2-0 showing. Liam here, Amateurs Only, is the newest addition and my favorite addition to the Advanced League. He's a player who, I'll be honest, wasn't very good in previous seasons, but at the end of the last season, it seems Liam learned how to prep for a draft match really well and is one of the better preppers in the league, I'd honestly say, and has pretty much non-stop played random battles ever since the last season ended, and is clearly, in my opinion, one of the best players in the league, and is taking, you know, pillars of the league, Cerulean, people like Haymaker, and he's successfully, like, taking them down to one Pokemon each. And I'm just really impressed by the overall skill. I've talked to the player in the back, and I know, you know, they're unhappy with their performance this year, but I think beating people who last season would have demolished you and taking them to one is really well done. And I've been enjoying watching his season. Great. I mean, he beat me. What shit can I talk? He beat me. Meek Millie versus Acquitted Ace. Acquitted Ace, running Aeron. Did he actually end up trading for that thing? So it's the age-old question. What's better? Who wins? Balance or hyper offense? We're gonna find out today. So Excadrill versus Metagross leads. Meek Millie decides to set up Stealth Rocks, very similar to how I was using my Metagross this week, just to like lay Toxic and get Stealth Rocks around. Everybody fears the HO Mega Metagross, so using it defensively was pretty smart of me, if I like to say so myself. I love that Aeron sprite with the red eyes. It was very pretty. As Metagross gets Endeavored and gets an Earthquake off. Doing some good chip to the Kyurem, gets the Bullet Punch. Kyurem almost invalidated at this point, but you can never count a Kyurem out. As Tapu Koko more than likely outspeeding, unless that's a Scarf Kyurem, which I wouldn't doubt. It's a very good Pokemon. Just getting a lot of chip around. And now that these Stealth Rocks have gone up, the Aeron is going to be in a lot more trouble. Now we're getting, we have an Electric Seed. All right. So if you don't know, Electric Terrain is set up. Hawlucha has Electric Seed. Electric Seed combines with Electric Terrain to boost defense. That's why Hawlucha has the defense buff. Hawlucha also has Unburden. When it uses an item, it doubles its speed. So Hawlucha actually has double speed and +1 defense right now. It's a huge problem on the board. Its move Acrobatics also doubles in power when an item is lost or used. So it's hitting hard, it's fast, and it's getting phased out with the Dragon Tail. Well done, Jorge. You have stopped the Hawlucha sweep successfully. That's one of the things you got to look out for. Now, Aeron is a level 1. He was going for Fear Hijinks. The second he got hit with a single move, Volt Switch, it's dead. Now we have Mantine. Steel-type Mantine is very good and very interesting. One of the ways people like to remove Mantine is by Toxic Stalling it out, and you can't do that if it's a Steel type. The other option is you could also make it a Poison type. And that also gives you a poison immunity. So something to consider if you're facing a team like Jorge's, or Acquitted Ace here, who has dragons and fairies on his team. You could make it Steel is good because it resists dragons and dragons and fairies. But maybe you're running into a team that's like fairies and, I don't know, something else that poison resists. You could also make it a poison Mantine. Something to think about. As Mantine's doing a great job, getting Sylveon kills, forcing the Primarina out. Kyurem hits the field and roosts up, which is pretty dang good for it. Hidden Power is doing nothing. I know you're in the chat, Grant. What Hidden Power is that? Because you keep using it, and it keeps doing nothing. Kyurem gets a substitute up, and is it pressure stalling? See, the Freeze Dry is doing no type of damage to the Mantine because of the Steel Terra. But Kyurem has the ability Pressure, which doubles PP usage of the opponent. So Substitute Roost can actually be very good on Kyurem. It's actually a very common set. I wonder if that's what Jorge is going for here. It was HP Ground. Very interesting. Don't know who that was trying to hit. Now, Coco is just a menace in this game, doing tons of Volt Switch damage, tons of Dazzling Gleam damage, and you're not even really getting any of your sweeping Pokemon out. You kind of did some damage with the Hawlucha, but you did nothing with the Iron Bundle, and Cyclizar never even hit the field. So, well done. GG's from Tylord and the Black Dog. Now, this is interesting. This right here is a repeat match of last year's championship. We're getting a rematch, a grudge match, if you will. Let's see who wins this game. I'm very interested to see. Now, I know both players did not prep very much. As Marshadow comes in and close combats the Blissey right away and gets a KO. See, that's the problem. If you're not prepped for Tylord's team, and I'm not saying that the Black Dog did no prep, but you literally need a hard counter to Marshadow. It is the best Pokemon in the league, and this goes to everyone. If you don't have a Marshadow answer, your team is going to lose. Look at the position Murph was just put in. He put Blissey in, who dies to close combat. Look at the rest of his team. Everybody else would have either died to the close combat or the Spectral Thief. He had no switch-ins. No, and the only thing he could do was put Fluttermane out for the revenge. But it was literally the first turn. He still has a full team of Pokemon to switch in and stop the revenge kill. In this case, he goes Drapion, who resists the Shadow Ball. It resists the Moonblast. He doesn't care about this Fluttermane. Okay, he doesn't resist the Moonblast, but it is neutral. Now he gets a Swords Dance off. Does Drapion have Sucker? No. Fluttermane, being the problem that is, manages to still get the KO on Drapion. Well done. Sorry for going off on you for a second, but I just need people to understand how big of a problem that Marshadow is. And now we're getting some good switching. Volcarona has the screens up. Pincers on the field. Mega Pinsir has come out. Body Slams. Gets the Paralyze on the Gastrodon. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sticky Hold Gastrodon prevents the item from being taken off. This is some interesting hijinks. Now, if you don't know, Pinsir's ability is Aerial Linked, turning normal type moves into flying type moves and boosting the damage 1.2 times. So this Body Slam is actually flying type and doing more damage plus stab damage than any Body Slam you've ever seen. Probably the strongest Body Slam I've ever seen. Trailblaze, ×4 effective and boosting Lucario's speed, but still not doing much. We have one turn of Aurora Veil left. As Gastrodon turns into a poison type, doesn't get the burn, but gets roared out. Now, okay, that's interesting right there. Because if I'm Tylord, I'm ripping a close combat into whoever wants it on the field. But instead, he just switches out into the Volcarona. Then gets roared by the Lucario, placing the Ninetales in front of a Steel type. Now, if I'm Tylord, I'm shaking in my boots. I'm scared of this. Because he could have Bullet Punch, he could have Meteor Mash, he could have a whole host of things. He does end up having Bullet Punch, and its Flame Body Volcarona ends up getting the burn on the Lucario, who ends up going Terra Flying into a Gastrodon. I honestly don't think that's a bad decision from the Black Dog to try and get that Volcarona damage off and prevent that sweep. But Tylord is just playing a very safe, very conservative game, which is unlike him. He's usually one of our very prediction-heavy, very aggressive, wants to get his boost off early type players. And it seems like Murph was trying to cut that out, but ends up maybe wasting his Terra. I guess not really wasting his Terra because he has no other Terra option, so he was free to use it whenever he wanted. But, just food for thought. Next time you're playing, take that into account. Latios hits the field, can rip this Gastrodon a new one with Psychic. Ninetales ends up trying to take the hit as Murph decides he wants these Stealth Rocks gone. This is something I've been begging to see here. Every season, people run Latios and never use it to defog. This is a great defog Pokemon because people need to switch in front of it, as Murph just showed. And now Latios took no damage and removed Stealth Rocks for the Pinsir, who's ×4 weak and really doesn't want to come out on those rocks. So well done, Murph. I like that play. Ends up using Mystical Fire on the Ninetales, who takes the hit pretty nicely because it got screens up. And the Snow Boost, and now they're just trading Moonblast back and forth. Magnezone hits the field. Ninetales Heal Bells and takes care of the status on the team. I don't remember what statuses there were. Gastrodon's back in. Gets critted for 31%, but it can easily recover that damage. Tylord says something in the chat. You bringing defog tells me that's sturdy and Fluttermane is possibly sashed. So he thinks the Magnezone is sturdy. Interesting. Well, we'll never know. He says, wrong, plus you suck, boo. Having a good time with this match. I don't know about you guys. This is exciting, though. I don't think the Black Dog is out, but he's in a hole, and he needs to dig himself out of it somehow. So he starts Calm Mind boosting. Very smart. I think going into Specs or Scarf all the time is a mistake. As the Shadow Sneak comes out, gets the Fluttermane KO. Now Marshadow's worried. Sorry. Now the Black Dog is worried because his guaranteed revenge on Marshadow is gone. It got sneaked away from him. Now Pinsir's kind of going off. Feraligator's going to hit the field soon, though. And if it's Scarfed, that could be a huge problem for the Black Dog. As Tylord just cannot be stopped, has continually gotten screens over and over again, just making the Black Dog have to brute force his way through this game. I mean, he has done so much damage, constantly putting Tylord on his back foot. This really is a rematch of last year's championship match. I mean, you know, it's showing that it wasn't a fluke. These two players belong to each other. They are dog fighting here. As the Ninetales goes for the Pain Split, and it doesn't give it enough HP to survive that T-Bolt. Marshadow hits the field and just Spectral Thieves with the KO. So Latios comes in, gets sneaked away. Yup, I wouldn't have done that. I would have gone into the Mega Pinsir here. And yeah, done like a body slam or something. See? Right there. Easy KO. And then you would have had your Latios left to be able to resist the Feraligator. Yeah. Could have been very close if he had gone Pinsir first. It would have come down to Latios versus Feraligator. And maybe he could have just Draco'd the Feraligator. I don't know if that would have killed. But it would have, you know, made the game closer and very exciting. Do we have any other matches this week that we haven't watched? Oh my god, we have so many left to watch. Alright, let's look here at Matt versus the Cowboy. You had to wait for the screen. Okay, I still think the Aerial 8 Body Slam would have KO'd, but, you know, do what you can. You ended up bringing him down to 1-0. Is a very well done match, and I'm proud of you, son. All right, Matt versus Cowboy. I've given enough rants about these players as we've watched their replays in the past. Let's see how this match goes. So Empoleon versus the Tyrantrum ends up going into a Terra-fighting close combat, ripping a ton of damage. I must be honest, I'm surprised. Is anyone else surprised that doesn't KO an Empoleon? And now they're getting Stealth Rocks up. They're getting slept. A Whirlpool Trap. It's now a slept Tyrantrum that's getting Whirlpooled. And they set up Rain Dance. So that you set up the Whirlpool and then you immediately switch out, getting rid of the Whirlpool. But they end up going into the Rotom, which ends up getting its substitute broken. So it's a sub Rotom. Is it some sort of nasty plot set? Because there is the unaware Dondozo in the back who's more than likely able to take those hits. But a nice flamethrower from Moltres handles Tyrantum. Gets a U-turn on the Dondozo. Switches back into the Rotom. Dondozo starts cursing. Rotom subs up. And now what is Matt here looking to do? He's looking to place Thunders. 57% to the Dondozo. It's a big chunk, but it's not a KO. And what is Matt going to do? He gets the Toxic down on the Don. And it just gets subbed away. Chesto Berry wakes up the Dondozo, so it's a cursed Chesto set. I haven't seen that on pretty much anybody but a Snorlax in about 5 years. Toxic down on the Charizard. Weather Ball comes out. More than enough to KO the Empoleon at that point. If I'm Matt, yeah. If I'm Matt, I was saying I was going to go into Ting Lu, and that's exactly what he does here. Then ends up switching out and getting Solar Beamed. Moltres tanks that hit with ease. It looks like Matt is maybe just playing to try and waste Sun turns here. Places a Weather Ball of his own, which Dondozo eats comfortably. Hurricane. Doesn't Hurricane have its accuracy lowered in the Sun? And he gets the confusion very well. Dondozo hits itself. U-turn for a little extra chip. And it looks like Matt is coming to try and Toxic the Dondozo again, maybe? No, he's going to try and set his screens up here. Looking for a boosting opportunity, maybe. Now, I think screens are a very effective Draft League strategy. But I don't know if it's what we want to see here. Because there's no... I didn't see any boosting moves on this team. Except maybe a Swords Dance Chien-Pao. So I guess we'll see if the Chien-Pao... Alright, here it comes. It hits the field. The Sword of Ruin activates, and the Photosynthesis is activated. He doesn't boost here. He does rip an Ice Fang. Magearna hits the field. Interesting. So Flash Cannon, yeah, that probably would have KO'd a Chien-Pao. Maybe not with the light screen up, but I'm still betting it does. Doesn't manage to get anything else up. The Klefki, what did he even do there? Oh, he tried to set up another light screen. Kind of a waste of a turn for Matt there. As Moltres flamethrowers into the Dondozo. If that Hurricane connected, the Don was down. However, it did not connect. And it looks like that's game, because I don't see any way for Matt to, like, lower the Don's HP to that again. Unless he just keeps hitting Hurricanes. I guess I can just eat crow as he just keeps blasting Hurricanes away. Ting Lu on the field, gets the rocks up. But a turn too late. That would have been great damage on the Frostmoth. Instead, Frostmoth's able to just comfortably rip Bug Buzzes. As, oh, Ting Lu whirlwinds into the Charizard, getting the KO. As now the Dondozo hits the field, tries to waterfall the Ting Lu, and gets the crit. Let's pause there. Listen, I don't know calcs off the top of my head, as we've proven today. But I'm betting if that doesn't crit, Ting Lu doesn't die. And that means he gets another roar off, and either Magearna or Frostmoth hits the field, and Chien-Pao, it could have maybe, I don't know, started fucking, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Start crunching through the enemy team. Because I think, at this point, I think a Choice Band crunch KOs everything. I really think it does. Rocks comes out, takes it down to 65. 34%. Looks like he's playing for the flinch, and he doesn't get it, as Magearna survives with 21% HP, and Frostmoth with 91, but really less. And it looks like they had a nice, good, friendly conversation here at the end of the game. Are you ready, people, for the final match of the day? Hayes versus Hector. We have Rain versus, whatever the fuck you call this kind of team. I love Hector's team. I think it's a very fun team to watch. And I think, okay, anytime you want to play with weather, it's you look at Rain first. It's the best one. It's the easiest one to use. It's the first weather anybody ever uses. Most people don't start playing with Hail first. They play with Rain first. And Hector's a newer player, and it's fun to see him use Rain because it's something you can get better at. It's an easy playstyle to learn, and it's fun seeing him get better with it each and every week. So let's see if he's gotten better since last week and is maybe able to use it more as he uses his Protean Greninja to get some Ice Beams off. looking at this opposing team, I would have, I probably would have gone Battle Bond Greninja this week. Just try and boost my damage to get KOs on stuff like Gliscor, for example, while still being able to like switch around. I know, interesting all around. I'd like to be able to like Water Shuriken and Ice Beam freely. Is the Clefable is getting just tons of damage done to it, and gets given up. See, I feel like Clefable ends up in the hands of players like Hazy BB every season, and ends up getting kind of underutilized, and it makes me sad. Maybe I should just draft Clefable next year. Vaporeon, I love Vaporeon. Wanted to pick it up this year. Once again, getting very chipped down. It's interesting seeing Trailblaze get used. I'm seeing Trailblaze on a ton of teams this year. It's been used twice this week so far. Trailblaze Vaporeon is interesting. Looks like he was trying to maybe hit the Swampert. Yeah, I bet that's what Hazy was trying to do. He is a water-absorbed Vaporeon, wants to take the liquidation with the Vaporeon and then try and return with Trailblaze. And that strategy is now out the window. So I hope Hazy wasn't relying on that strategy because he's let it go. Hurricane doing no type damage to Nihilego. Nihilego has a great matchup versus rain teams. See, that Thunderbolt goes into the Pert. Alright, good decision here. Because if that Nihilego is Grass Knot, which I'm betting it is, it may be able to save this game. Hazy really needs to handle this Pelipper. If he can get rid of the rain, he cuts the Swampert's health in half. He makes the Ferrothorn far less tanky. He removes Hurricanes from Zapdos and lowers the damage of Urshifu and Greninja. He needs to handle this Pelipper as quickly as he can. He starts sleep talking, doing considerable chip to the Pelipper, getting something done here. He's not just away from the keyboard right now. He's doing some damage. But not before Hector's able to get more rain up and lets Ferrothorn hit the field. So he switches in his fire type. This is the correct decision. Blocks the Heatran. Okay, good. The Ferrothorn switches out. Now the Pelipper's trapped in with the Heatran. The Heatran said, oh, you think I'm locked in with you? You're locked in with me. So the Ferrothorn comes out again. He doesn't learn his lesson. He T-bolts again. But, yeah. What are you going to do, you know? He's in a tough position. He's down. 4-6. Heatran, Magma Storms again. Yes, he does. Very lucky that he doesn't get a Magma Storm miss. I swear that move misses more than he ever hits. As the Pelipper goes down, so now if he can survive these turns of rain versus the Swampert, then he's looking in good shape, frankly. I think he's left the important pieces alive, and he can still win this game. Nihilego is down. Okay, never mind. It is 2-5. Can Gliscor tank the Swampert? Does considerable chip, 41%. What? Hold up, what? The fuck? So what the fuck? He Toxic Orbs, gets poisoned, doesn't heal? Can anybody explain, does it just not heal first turn? I don't understand. As then Swampert Earthquakes the Heatran down. Well done, Hector. GG's, everyone.